Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. I can't wait. Tonight, some MGP goodness. That's right, Smoke Wagon is on the table tonight. Both the small batch and the uncut and unfiltered. Let's take a look at the bottles. First up is Smoke Wagon small batch with the gold, and wait, the clear glass. So for those that don't know, Smoke Wagon small batch is straight bourbon whiskey from MGP, but then it's rested in the Las Vegas, Nevada desert. Coming in at 100 proof is a small batch. Now, a few fun facts about this you might ask. First off, the best bottle in the game. Look at this, the cross 6 guns with the real wax, this beautiful floral vines here of some sort. I mean, literally the coolest bottle, period, available for whiskey pretty much. Now, you might ask, what's up with the clear glass? We thought they were all amber. Well, on the back here it does explain. This small batch is not limited or special. Because of you wonderful bourbon drinking people, we've gone through all of our 2020 custom amber glass much faster than anticipated. Amber glass is only made a couple times a year. So we've had to have our custom bottles made using clear glass until the 2021 amber campaign begins. Clear glass will be used between May and August of 2021 when the new custom amber bottles are scheduled to show up. So I got this, and we now know, because of that in the back, this was bottled sometime between May and August of 2021. Got this sucker here, I believe in New York, but you can order these online from Smoke Wagon now. And I believe they do ship to a lot of states, so that's good. Easy access. So we'll taste this one tonight blind, and it'll be on the screen, but I won't know which one it is. Next up, everybody's fan favorite from Smoke Wagon, the uncut, unfiltered. In this beautiful amber glass. We've got the cross 6 guns again in the black plastic there. Again, same bottle design. We got this shiny gold label though that says Smoke Wagon, uncut and unfiltered. Proof on this bad boy, 57.89% alcohol by volume. Compute. 115.78 proof on this bad boy right here. I mean, we're getting down to the tenths of the proofs here. For those that care, and some do on the Smoke Wagon Uncut Unfiltered, this was bottled on April 12th of 2021, and it is batch number 56. I believe they're in like the 80s or 90s now, actually, for these. And again, you can order this on their site as well, if you can't find it in your local area. Just a sweet bottle. Now, the thing on the back, because this is not the clear glass, we don't get that fancy explanation. What we do get here, though, is barrel strength bourbon. Not all barrels are created equal. Only the best, most flavorful barrels earn the right to show off their full potential. Enjoy this bourbon in its truest form, uncut and unfiltered. What great marketing. Wild and untamed, not for the faint of heart. Well, proof-wise, 115's, fairly average for the standard bourbon drinker. But excited for this one as well. Now you may ask yourself, that's great, we went over 2 bottles, but there seems to be a red, a green, and a blue Glencairn down here, Bourbon Bill. Is one of those water? No, it's not. I couldn't help myself. When my wife poured these blind, I asked her to include one other bottle. None other than Smooth Ambler Old Scout store pick. That's right. And the reason is that this is also MGP juice. And we can read from the front label here, it is aged 5 years. It is 58% alcohol by volume. Compute, 116 proof. Very close to our Uncut Unfiltered. Again, both MGP, but this one was obviously not aged in Las Vegas, Nevada, like that one would be. This is also a store pick for those that care, from Bourbon Street Wine and Spirits. I believe this one came from New Jersey. On the back here, barrel number 28095. Not that anybody cares about that. And that's really all you get here. Now, let's talk pricing. I believe this bottle was like 50 bucks, roughly, in there somewhere. I believe I paid about 47 to 50 some dollars for the small batch, and the uncut unfiltered was like 70. So again, pricing does vary a little bit depending on where you are, but that's in the 70s for uncut unfiltered, let's say 50s for the small batch, and 50s for the Old Scout. That's the pricing of where we're at with this. Now that you know the simple facts, let's get into nosing, tasting, guessing, and ranking. Alright, first up, the Blue Glencairn. Matches my wonderful Hawaiian shirt my wife lovingly bought for me. Let's take a sniff. Like a sugar cookie. It smells delicious. I'm getting some caramels. A lot of sweetness on this nose. It has like a just tastes like a caramely sugar cookie. Like a sugar cookie covered in caramel drizzle. Faint hint of oak on the back. A little rye spice maybe coming through. I believe, well, MGP generally is high rye, but they do have other mash bills, so I would assume these might all be the high rye, but again, don't know. Let's take a sip. Wow, that's excellent. The finish goes a long time. I'm going to guess that's one of the higher proof ones. Deductive reasoning there. I get a lot of rye spice on the palate. There's some caramel and some oak in the background. The sugar cookie note on the nose I was getting though, I didn't really feel present on the palate. It is fairly sweet. Pretty good. I mean, I don't hate it. I'll tell you that. All right, the Red Glencairn. Very similar on the nose. A little bit less sweet though. I'm getting more rye spice and less sugar cookie sweetness on this. But other than that, very similar notes. I get that caramel, again, more rye spice. A little bit of oak, not a lot. A little bit of ethanol coming off this one. I almost get like a bread note here, more so than a sugar cookie. Let's take a sip. Also very good. It was sweeter on the palate than the nose let on. Finish is pretty good. Not quite as long as the Blue Glass, I will say. Definitely the rye spice. I got like a little bit of a bready taste, like a bread pudding almost on the palate. Not bad. Again, I like both of them. All right, the Green Glencairn. Probably the best nose of all of them. This is a stronger sugar cookie note than either of the other two. I get the rye spice, a little bit of the oak again. There's more caramel here though than either of the other two, I will say, on the nose. Doesn't smell quite as high proof, but and the rye, I do get, there's some rye spice coming through now. All the noses are fairly similar, I will say, with some slight differences. Let's take a sip. Also, excellent finish on that. I'll tell you what, not a single one of these tastes 100 proof, and there's one here that is. This one was pretty well balanced. It kind of tasted almost like a burr rye. A lot of rye notes on this, and I think a lot of rye spice at the end, which made it taste hotter than it is. So my guess is that this might be the small batch, the 100 proof. But I'm really torn on how to rank these, honestly, at this time. So I'm going to run through these again real quick in reverse order here for you. I'll probably just stay on camera. Like a cinnamon rye sugar cookie on this one. Good flavor, but it's not the most complex. You get kind of the rye spice, like a little bit of caramel, and that's kind of what it is. So, not in first place, we'll say so far. All right, back to the red one. Very similar nose. Now, on the going on back through here, I'm getting more caramel. The rye spice is still there pretty heavily. Almost like a red fruit now, though, in the back, but like a dry red fruit. I know that doesn't sound very appealing. Let's take a sip. Very good, longer finish. There's more heat to it, but I'm not sure that the heat actually adds much to the experience, to be honest. I'm actually going to place the green above that. Alright. Now, back to the top again, the blue. This is the most different of the three. Nose is less rye spice sharpness. And there's just more sweet notes going on. Confectioner's sugar. Caramel. I like this nose a good bit, I will say. A lot of sweetness in the caramel, tad bit of oak. You get that little bit of that, I don't know, yeasty, bready, sourdough note maybe at the very end. That's in first place for me. Because this smelled a little different than the other two, I think this could be the Old Scout. So, my rankings tonight. First place, blue, I believe is the Old Scout. Second place, green. I'm not sure which Smoke Wagon is, but I actually think it's a small batch. And in last place is the red, which I believe actually is the Uncut&Unfiltered. Let me grab the answer key and we'll find out. Alright, got the old answer key here. So, in last place, the red glass, I guess, was Uncut&Unfiltered. It was, in fact, the Uncut&Unfiltered. Kind of a shock. Going into this, I haven't had these blind before. Going into this, though, I would have thought that the Uncut&Unfiltered would have at least beat the small batch. It costs more money. People are always raving about Uncut&Unfiltered. Maybe batch 56 wasn't the best. Maybe just it didn't. It's not that it was bad. It's just, for me, the green glass here, I just enjoyed the flavors more. And I didn't think the additional heat on the Uncut&Unfiltered added any additional flavor, which is why I like higher proof bourbons. I don't like it for the burn. I like it because it adds generally more complexity and flavor. And while maybe it had a touch more complexity, it didn't really have that much more flavor. So did not love the red glass tonight, so did get last. And that was the Uncut&Unfiltered. So in first place tonight, the blue glass was Get Out of Dodge. The blue glass was the small batch. Wow, that drank hotter than the green. So, totally not correct tonight. But my winner tonight was actually the small batch. Second place was the Old Scout. Whew. Well, I called the Uncut&Unfiltered correctly as last, but did not call first or second correctly at all. Kind of a shocking victory for the small batch. So, if you've been sleeping on the small batch because everyone talks about Uncut&Unfiltered, get yourself a small batch and try. You may like it better. So we learned a valuable lesson tonight. That is, small batch Smoke Wagon kicks it as far as, 4 to 6 year MGP. Smoke Wagon small batch is where it's at. So if you like what you saw tonight, please like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Have a great evening, everybody.